everyone, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show.
So funny, I was like super empowered. I don't think I could sleep.
Still follows the same rules, has the same characters and all that stuff,
Yes.
but it just tweaks it a little bit.
You're reading fantasy, and it's so grounded. It's so completely grounded in reality.
Rule clarification, if we both get it wrong, do we get bonus points?
Soldier Simmons, it is my pleasure to now pin you, raising you from the rank of soldier to dedicated.
That didn't happen in the books, but it was awesome.
I nailed it.
I nailed that.
I nailed it. Let me bring you comfort about Egwene. I know you haven't seen her in a month, but let me tell you this story about how badass she is right now.
That fight scene, my boy went through 5 daggers.
Everybody's flower is different. I think we learned that in the books. This is I think for me, top 5 moments ever on screen.
When I read it, I felt empowered. I felt called to action.
One of the best quotes in the whole series is when Gaul says, "Do you like to dance, Baron Ibarra?"
The Knights Who Say Chill.
AKA the band of really, really nice good guys.
Let a couple more drink on.
You're saying everywhere?
I am.
Do you have a chaser should you need it?
Can I have a little bit of mine too? Yo, this is good.
Young people do like this now or something instead of this.
Oh, it's like this.
It's the heart emoji.
Don't jiggle, jiggle.
It folds. I like the way you wiggle, wiggle.
You
For
wiggle.
show. We're going to review the entirety of season 1 of the Wheel of Time. The whole thing. Finale of Rings of Power. Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show! Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. Man, it has been a minute since we've done just a pure Wheel and Chill show of some kind, you know?
I know.
Like a while.
Super long while.
You said a minute. I was like, yeah, well,
A little longer than a minute. A little
bit
longer.
longer than a minute.
But it feels good to be back.
It
feels
does.
good to be back
It's
to
good
excited.
to see y'all's beautiful faces.
back at ya for sure. So my name's Kritter XD. This is my YouTube channels or Twitch channel or Twitter if you're watching any of those things. Welcome. I see you in the chat. Thank you for being here.
Yay.
So today we're going to start by briefly talking about WotCon, which is a Wheel of Time convention made by fans for fans that is happening this week. And I say briefly because it's basically just going to be me telling you what panels I'm going to be on, us talking a little bit about how hyped we are, and then we're going to dive right into the OA Season 2, Episodes 1 through 4, which I watched for the very first time as the OA first timer in this conversation, literally yesterday. All
Shit
4.
got weird. Shit got weird, didn't it?
Yeah,
It got
and,
weird.
and when I went and saw that they were each like an hour a piece, I was like, wow, I planned so
surprise.
poorly doing this all in one day. But we did it. So as usual, before we get really into the conversation, I'm going to ask my amazing co-hosts to introduce themselves and let us know what anything they're working on, anything they're excited about. So, Tavern, do you want to start?
Sure. Hi, I'm Ta'veren Tavern. I do merch and stuff on Redbubble and TeePublic and Zazzle for Wheel and Chill merch. I've also been hanging out with the puppets on the Way of the Leaf and doing their geography of. Listen, I'm just gonna put this out there. We're supposed to be doing geography of the Wheel of Time, but we get sidetracked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it
doesn't sound very familiar. I can't imagine that.
Some of it is my fault, but yeah, that's what I've been doing lately, and I will be at WotCon. I'm not on panels or doing any WotCon stuff this year. I'm taking a break, if I'm being honest. Last year, I got a little overwhelmed with some stuff. So I wanted to take a chill and relax for a little bit. So I'm just going to sit back and enjoy and hang out with all you beautiful people that are going.
That's amazing. I love that for you.
Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing con. Okay, Winespring, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, I'm Winespring. I won't be at WotCon, so you shouldn't go. Yeah, just kidding.
Wow.
Whoa, just kidding. I just can't go this year, but I'll see you next year. Okay, it'll be great.
Elon
And you can
stole
check
it
me
from
out.
us.
What? Wait, what did you? No.
Elon stole you away.
No. What Eats is a hashtag where you can find my Wheel of Time recipes and that are based on the Wheel of Time TV show and book series. And it's really great. And also winespringcafe.com and Winespring Cafe on X. Come say hey.
Woo! WinespringCafe.com is back in action. That's exciting. It's very exciting times.
All your nom needs.
Most recently, you released a recipe about Uno,
Yeah.
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah, I did
Oh.
that just for WatCon because he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Guy Roberts is
So-
guest of honor at WatCon.
Yeah, so it's Uno's feckin' fish tacos. And you guys, those
Looks
fish tacos
so
are
good.
feckin' delicious.
It looks, my wife and I already had a fight about it because I was like, okay, we'll remove the
Feta? Is it the feta?
No, I'm okay with
Okay,
it. It's
okay.
I'm not a big fan of guacamole.
Oh, well, yeah, take out.
I make a mean guacamole, or so I'm told, but I won't eat it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
weird. So yeah,
Send me
she's
that
like,
recipe.
no.
Send
She's
me
like-
that mean recipe.
She's like, we're doing all of it. And I'm like,
Fun thing about guacamole is you can put it on the side,
that's
Yep.
right.
add it to the tacos.
It's a condiment.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Okay.
She had the other one with the black spaghetti. Is that the Maggi one?
Yes. Oh my
It
gosh.
looks so good.
It is one of my favorite things. Like it's a regular in the household.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
Tinker Soup. Every month is Tinker Soup here.
Okay, and as I said before, I'm Kritter XD. You can find me on TikTok and Twitter, and I have a Discord. All of my social media information is in the description of this video on YouTube, along with Taverns and Winesprings. And I am going to be doing 3 panels at WatCon, and I pulled up the schedule just so I can tell you which ones in case you're going to be there. But before I tell you what panels I'm going to be on, I will say that virtual memberships are available now. So if you can't physically go, they are very reasonable for the amount of content you get. You literally get access to every single one of the panels that is being live streamed, and you can watch them after the fact. So if there's multiple panels that you want to see all at the same time, you don't have to really pick. You just have to pick which one you're seeing live, and then you can watch the other ones after the fact. It's like one of the most impressive virtual memberships that I've seen from a con, because literally it's just like you get all the content without having to be there, which is lovely.
Love that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's only one thing. If the show sends anything, which they have in the past, I don't think they'll show that. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure.
I think that happened last year, so that's a good caveat. Yeah.
Yes.
But I am while I am
I'm not
one of the
sure.
planners of WatCon, I am not privy to the secret, whether there will or not be a secret drop.
Right.
There's always like during main stage programming, if we play popular music, there's always the chance that it'll get copyright taken down. So, we might have to like mess with that. But as far as like the panels go, always available. It's been great. There was one other thing I was going to say. And virtual attendees also have access to special interviews with all of the guests. So we've got Guy Roberts, who plays Uno Mesta. We've got Maria Simmons, who has been on Team Jordan and was like personal assistant to Robert Jordan and is incredible and knows more about the Wheel of Time than anyone besides, Jordan did himself and probably Harriet. Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, who do the audiobooks for the Wheel of Time and tons of other audiobooks, are also going to be there. And they all of these people will get 30-minute interviews that the virtual attendees will be able to watch that the people at the con aren't even going to be at, which is amazing. And then finally,
and they will get to ask questions as well.
right. Yeah. In chat.
They can put questions in chat, and you get a chance to have that asked to the celebrity. Yeah.
And then finally, Michael Livingston is also another guest who wrote Origins of the Wheel of Time. He's a very well-known kind of historian. He writes a lot of things about old battles, but also Origins of the Wheel of Time was enough for me to make me a big fan, because that book is awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So, yeah, those are some of the virtual memberships are purchasable right now at watcon.com if you want to get them. And now I will tell you what panels I'm going to be on.
Yay.
Okay, Friday, I'm going to be on a content creation and how to do it panel at 4:30 p.m. I believe this is Eastern time. So it's going to be just like hot tips and kind of like ideas about how to get started from various content creators in different, specialties. Like I dabble in most, like, I have a podcast, I have YouTube, whatever, but like, I'm probably most prominently a TikTok short form, right, creator. And so I'll be talking a lot about TikTok. We've got amazing podcasters who are going to be talking about starting a podcast, people who've done stuff on YouTube. So if you want information or you just want inspiration about getting started as a content creator or just creating content, that would be a good one to check out.
Yep.
And then Saturday, I have 2 panels, and they're both going to be total bangers. I'm going to be exhausted by the end of the day. At 1 p.m. on Saturday, I will be doing GE Trial. And I'm not going to tell you much about it because it's got Wheel of Time spoilers. The premise has Wheel of Time spoilers. I will say that the character who was on trial is Perrin, and that me and Allie from Wheel Takes are the prosecutors. So,
all right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
buy a
gonna
virtual
interject.
ticket right now.
I'm going to interject right now and say this. If you can't be at WatCon and you feel like getting a virtual ticket, but you're on the fence, the trial panels every year have been the top panel to watch.
Yes, hands down.
I literally lost weight the last 2 cons from crying from laughter. All the moisture left my body.
We have like 6-pack abs from all the laughing. It's good stuff.
Oh, he can do wrong, Caleb. He can do wrong.
He can do wrong. Maria Simmons is going to be the judge. She is reprising her role.
She don't mess around either.
And it's going to be pretty excellent. And then finally, my last panel will be it's not a trial, but it will be a debate. And yes, we are going to debate who would make the better dragon, or who would have made the better dragon, Egwene versus Rand. Egwene versus
Egwene,
Rand.
obviously.
Yeah, they can't put Lan in there because he would win hands down.
Well, I mean, we picked 2 characters to face off against each other, and those were the 2 characters. And let me just say
I get it.
I am on one of the sides, and you've got to either be there or get a virtual membership to find out which side that is.
Ooh, Max Silva pulled out something. He said it's interesting to have Allie on the trial team when she's just started the Gathering Storm.
Well, it is from a book that is before the Gathering Storm. This was inspired by a podcast episode where she had a lot of issues with parents' behavior. And so that's how the idea for this particular topic came to be.
I'm already taking offense. Why aren't we putting Fail on trial?
Whoa.
For her behavior.
She's
is
done
all I'm saying.
nothing wrong.
Because she's innocent?
No, everybody's done wrong things, okay? Everyone does wrong things. Except Egwene. No, I'm kidding. I know Egwene's done wrong things too.
No.
Yeah.
She has. She has. Let me be the first. And I will also say, before we get started about the OA, one last thing. Tavern and I will indeed be finding a time to do Wheel and Chill live from WatCon. We are going to try our best to bring on some special guests. Cross your fingers for us that we land some good ones. And so we will keep you apprised on the social media and Discord when that's going to happen, because we haven't yet decided.
I do have one other announcement.
Yeah.
Real quick. Throughout the evenings or throughout the con, there may be random TikToks popping up on my TikTok channel where Balsamon interviews people. Just putting that out there. You never know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's safe to say Tavern and I will both be covering the con on our social media.
We'll be covering each other too.
Tavern, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? No, what do you And we both have cosplays planned, which is exciting, which is very, very exciting. So keep an eye on Instagram, TikTok, whatever for that.
Oh my God, it sounds like you're going to have so much fun.
I wish you could be there. You will be missed.
So great. I love talking about it.
I'm sorry. We did our best to keep it within the 15-minute window at the beginning, and now we can move to the OA if everyone's prepared.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm so ready for this.
Okay, great. So I am going to hand over the reins as the first timer to whoever between the two of you wants to lead this charge, because
Tavern, let's go.
All right, so I'm just gonna start throwing questions out there.
Sure. And just a reminder, we are talking about season 2, episodes 1 through 4. Please do not spoil the final 4 episodes in the chat, because I have not seen them. Okay, and we'll do our final episode about the OA at the end of this month. So just be aware. Be aware of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tavern. Go ahead.
Nope, you're good. All right, so overall impressions of the first 4 episodes of season 2.
Okay, so hear me out. I thought at the very beginning that I was like not fully sold, because the way we started made me think it was going to be just completely unrelated, like new. It was a new character. Yeah. He's like tracking down a missing girl, whatever. And I was like, ugh. By the end of the 4 episodes, though, I'm kind of feeling this season more than the first season.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Yes. Kicked it up a notch.
Yeah. I love the like, I don't know. It's giving The Expanse, right? Because it's like a detective trying to chase down a girl that's missing. Whatever. It's I like the like. It's not police procedural, but like that kind of detective element to it. I didn't think I would, but I did, especially when it started weaving into the OA plot, which was really satisfying.
Okay.
I love a good mystery. I love a Silicon Valley commentary. And then honestly, my least favorite episode, don't hate, was the one where they followed the old crew, like the kids from season 1. Yeah, because I was like,
and everything.
Yeah, like I want to see what's going on with Nina and the detective and all that stuff, and we had to take a break from that. So it wasn't a bad episode, but like I'm into the new stuff personally. It got weird though by episode 4. But I kind of it was fun. It was,
but I kind of liked it.
It was interesting. Like, I was surprised, but it's the OA. So, do I prefer like crazy movements or like a psychic octopus? I don't know. Probably the psychic octopus, if I'm honest. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
I love the comparison there.
Yeah.
Well, because I said the crazy movements last, or like the movements last time, it just felt a little cheeseballish, right? Like that was kind of like a thing that I didn't get. I love, which I loved that lady who he met up with, the French lady, like scoffed. Like, I guess that's one way to do it, as if like that's the embarrassing way.
Route.
Yeah, and I was like, it is the embarrassing way. I'm so glad there's other ways, because I just didn't like it. So yeah, that's why. Because like I feel like of all the things that are like cheeseballish so far, you would have to guess it's probably the talking octopus, but I didn't think it was that. I thought it was kind of cool. So
why does it look like I'm missing
pictures?
What?
Uh-oh, you getting ready to pull up some photos for us?
I was gonna have. I don't think I can. Can I? Oh, I can.
Well, you just tell me which ones too. I've got.
Well,
it.
I can. I forgot I can screen share.
You can, but I have it all organized. So just tell me what you want, and I'll do it.
All right. There was one from episode 1 that I had a. I'll just explain it. So at the very, very start of the season, right? Episode 1.
Okay.
You get the skateboarder. That's zooming down the road.
Yes.
And all of a sudden he passes a lady in red who happens to be the OA in a really awesome sequin dress. With the whole leg split thing, pulling Angelina Jolie, just looking amazing.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he flies off. He flies off the cliff into the ocean.
From somewhere high.
Yeah, he falls off. Well, he goes off the road.
Oh, I think I found the thing
drops.
you're thinking of.
And he wakes up, and that's how we're introduced to Kareem, which, by the way, amazing character. What an incredible character. And that's the only hint that you get at the beginning, really at the very start, that it's connected in any way, is that they show her.
Is that I know. And I was like, oh, because I thought it was going to be completely separate for some reason. And so the fact that they showed her, I was like, oh, at least they'll have like maybe little Easter eggs about her. And then of course she comes up way bigger.
Easter eggs about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your overall vibe with Kareem?
That's the detective, right? There's
Yeah.
like really bad names. Okay.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's
Oh, I see what you did.
he seems like a genuinely good guy. You know, like I don't know how much I can't even remember how much they agreed to pay him or whatever, but he really just
$31,000.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot of money. I was gonna say he just seems like he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart, but I guess not. But
no, he's getting paid.
He does feel very tenacious about it, and his relationship with the cops is funny to me. And yeah, I think he's good. He's good at his job, so I'm a fan.
Yeah,
personally.
So, did you pick up anything that Old Knight, the octopus, maybe said in reference to Kareem potentially?
Oof. No.
So I think this is I forgot about.
Hit her with it. Hit her with the knowledge.
Yeah, give it to me.
Hit her with it.
I should have.
So let's see. Old Knight, the octopus, Azrael. Is that how you also say his name? Azrael, the angel of death.
Yeah,
is what he's actually called.
Yeah.
His name that he doesn't want shared publicly, which is fascinating. So it's like who's actually speaking through the octopus to her. So I don't know. We'll see, because I can't actually remember the next few episodes. So speculation time. So Old Knight mentions that she has always sent someone to be with the original angel,
to protect
her, and then it cuts to this moment.
Oh wait, did you hear what he said? He says he goes, your brother.
Mm-hmm.
She always sends him to protect you in every life.
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
If I heard it, it blew straight past my waking memory. So, yeah, no, I forgot about. Now I remember the protector thing, but I forgot that it was brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so in that moment in the psych ward at Treasure Island, when Kareem first meets, Nina/OA, he goes, "Do I know you?" Or have I seen you before? Like, he hasn't made the connection with the red dress dream yet. But if they've known each other in other dimensions, it would, he might show maybe that it's all connected,
Where we're gonna go back to season 1 real quick. Where else have we heard about a large sum of money?
Oh, the BBA. I don't know. Her inheritance, right?
Yeah. The one that we never meet, right? Because he passed.
Oh, the brother. Okay, yeah.
Her brother that passed that we never meet and leaves her a lot of money, and then she's having that dream where she sees that shadowy figure or whatever in the doorway. And I think
maybe a map too.
Yeah, I think that was Kareem.
But you think her brother's Kareem?
I think her brother was Kareem in the other dimension, in the dimension with the kids.
BBA?
Yep.
Well, we see an image of the brother.
But do they show him?
Yeah.
I don't think it. I don't think the look matters. I think the only one that looks the only ones that look the same are Homer, Hap, Rebecca, and the other crew. But the other people kind of change, except for Vu, which is the girl that he's looking for, that Kareem is looking for. But I think there's a connection there.
Interesting.
Maybe that's the only reason that BBA is the one that can cross over, right? Because it said she's the only one that could.
Yeah, that's
the only one.
Yeah. Winespring's got things about that, issues with that whole scene.
Oh,
with the money grab. I don't know where she's gonna go with it though.
should we jump back? Should we jump back to episode 1 and just skim the big moments that happen?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me see. I'm pulling up my notes. Okay, so we saw the red shiny dress, which he mentions later. Where he says, "I saw you. I fell from a great height," which I took that as a statement on. Kind of a callback to the Old Knight a little bit about how your brother's always sent. So is he also an angel? Did he fall from a great height?
Not
you
to
know,
mention that
have
angels
Azrael.
fall.
Yeah, they have Azrael there too, mentioning an angel that falls, angel of death, yada yada, depending on what you believe on.
Ooh,
So there's a lot of layers there with that statement.
Yeah.
Okay, $31,000. And then we have Kareem driving an orange car, which, you know, I'm always looking at colors and how they're being like used
Yeah.
in these kind of shows. And an orange car is interesting because it's so bright and obvious. And why in the world, when some guy who's trying to be sneaky
He's a PI. He's a PI, right?
be driving an orange car?
Said he likes the color.
he likes the color, but for a show like this that puts so much thought into creativity, and orange being the color of creativity and sexuality both, which is mentioned a few times in different episodes. I think it's
know that about sexuality. I need to go get a tan.
That's funny. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I don't know if anybody else kind of thinks about.
I thought about the car, and I thought about him being like, he's totally overt. There's no covert in his PI work. He's like flat out. Even the girl calls him out. We saw your car.
We saw you from the bus.
Yeah, from the bus. Orange one. But yeah. Then they have the augmented reality, which is amazing. Given the time that this show came out, and it was just kind of AR was around for a little bit, but hadn't been around for a lot. When he's looking at the stairs with his phone, you've got fish.
That looks so good.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks so good. If you want to start looking at the images for season 2, episode 1, I've got a bunch of shots of the phone because there were some interesting things.
Okay. I see some phone. Yep. Pulling. Oh, I got the stairs photo right now. Let me pull that.
Yeah, the one with the fish?
The one with the fish.
Yeah.
Okay, that one is up.
Okay, so we have that one. There's another one, right? I just thought that was a cool shot. The second one
It is. I agree.
is when he figures out the code for the plane.
Yeah, that was
which
so
happens,
random.
which happens to be BA411, which you could literally say BBA information or BBA, you know, something.
Info,
Yeah, which ties BBA to this world.
Just throw a B on at the beginning.
Yeah, and the fact that if you look, I don't think I got a picture of the planes that I know. When he's scanning the sky, there's the BA411, which almost looked like there was information because there was a plane about to land, and then there were other planes in the air. They said it in the second episode, I think first or second episode, that they're trying to map. HAP is trying to map everything,
other dimensions, yes,
and the augmented reality, I think, is showing different travelers moving. That's my thought. I don't know if that's a fact, but I that's what I got. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember the next 4 episodes either.
I know, isn't that awesome? It's kind of fun to watch without remembering. Yes.
But that's where I think is happening is they're using the information that they're getting from the sleepers, converting it into software to unlock different things.
Okay. That's fascinating. I'm going to put you guys into my Be Real. If anybody does Be Real in the chat, it's time to be real, okay? Great.
Yeah, Caleb said that, remember what Zendaya's character... Forgot her name. That's right.
Oh my God, Zendaya was in this.
Yeah.
That was so surprising to me.
She said puzzles versus games and how the architect of this game is training them. Actually, the architect of this puzzle is training them because it's not a game; it's a puzzle. She's very clear about that. And that's how they see Zal and Britt with this show training us. Zal and Britt Marling and Zal, I can't remember his full name, is they're writing partners. They're the ones that created the show. So yeah, it's really interesting how we're being taught all of this stuff at the same time that they're learning it on the show. So good call, Caleb.
It also kind of reminds me of, of course, I'm just like seeing these things and not looking at them nearly as deeply as you guys because I'm seeing them for the first time. But they do remind me of things. And one of the things this reminds me of is If anybody's seen Ready Player One, because granted it is seen or read. Obviously, I read the book before I saw the movie. I prefer the book, but the movie's fun. Also, fun fact: Olivia Cooke, who's House of the Dragon, she's one of the main characters in that movie, and I did not put 2 and 2 together because she looks so different in the show.
Oh, in Ready Player One?
Yeah, she's the love interest.
Is that her?
Yeah, wow. I saw that on TikTok the other day. Anyway,
she doesn't look anything like that. All right,
I know, right? Well, Olivia, she's Alicent. She's
yeah.
But yeah, she. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's
no. I know who you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the love interest for the game programmer. No, you're talking about his love interest.
The main character's love interest.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it reminded me of Ready Player One just because it's very much like you're in it, you know, even though they're technically like in the real world for part of it, it still feels like they're very much inside the game. Also, the 3-body problem, right? Because that's another like
I haven't watched that yet. Dang it.
Oh, well, it's another like game that's got very real world implications, and it's kind of like a test more than a game. And that's kind of what I gather from this is that it's a test.
And yeah, I mean, y'all know that there's the real thing that I believe it was, I won't name the branch that did it. It just refers to Cicada. I'll let y'all look it up yourselves. It's a hacker game that you have to do well in to get a job offer. And it's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
there are actual companies that do that. It's really fun.
No, she didn't say anything specific. No. It's okay.
Yeah. So I was digging the concept of the game / puzzle / test.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This show is really ahead of its time.
Yeah. Maybe even gave ideas to people.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right. The next phone shot.
The 3 wise man.
The 3 wise man. So here's the funny thing about this, right? You look at it, it says 3 wise man. All you got to do is add a question mark after that instead, and it's like 3 wise man. Or no, not an exclamation, not a question mark.
Oh yeah.
It just yeah. The first time I watched this, it totally threw me for a loop until I saw the clue pop up later, and I was like, "I'm a freaking idiot."
I think it's supposed to do it. Yes.
I'm a freaking idiot. Oh my god!
At the same time, though, like if you hadn't heard of syzygy, like what would that even mean to you? You know, like nothing. I don't know. Anything that has 3 Y's in it could be the answer.
Yeah,
that's 6 letters at least. But yeah.
But I think they say syzygy or they show syzygy before they actually break it down. Before he puts his fingers on it and says 3 Y's or whatever, they show it before that, I think. And I don't remember, but I don't think I caught it then either.
Oh, I sure did.
To be honest with you.
No. No. I thought it, no.
Oh, there's a shot. There's the shot of him going down the road. The next one is him going down the road with her on the side of the road. Even after I saw him wake up, it didn't dawn on me that was him. I thought they were 2 separate things for the longest time.
Interesting. Yeah.
Until he said it later, and then I remembered, that was him. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Kayla was
the dress
right.
wasn't exact, but
no, it was not. That if you hear it versus reading it, it is easier.
Yeah.
It 100% is. Because like when you see it, you're like, okay, let's think about it. We've got the 3 wise men. We've got Christmas. We've got, the North Star. Like what are we talking about here?
But the big clue was man, singular, not plural.
Men. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it can't be Christmas because it's 3 wise men. Because I thought that too, and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out. Oh, okay. Next image to bring up is the eyeball.
Oh, good. Okay, I was right there too with you. I'm ready.
Yeah, that was weird.
So the whole I don't know if y'all recall the conversation she was having on the phone with Pierre Ruskin. We find out later her boyfriend, and she's supposed to be meeting him to have food. She has like an engagement ring on.
Yeah.
And she's saying that, she knows about the house and what have you done with them? And we learn who the them are later, I think in episode 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Is when young person is brought into Treasure Island, after being declared brain dead. And so it's like this version, this Nina is slowly starting to unpack what's also happening here.
Yeah.
So like every layer of the OA is involved somehow with interdimensional travel potentially.
Yeah. And it was encouraging also, like, you kind of forget about the Nina because the OA shows up, right? But it is encouraging that she was clearly
involved.
She was involved and she was disenchanted, right? She didn't like what she was seeing. She was trying to do something against it, or like, I don't know, lodge a protest at the very least.
There's two. Okay, so you have two dimensions, for lack of a better term. The same person in both, or, two very different lives, both working on interdimensional travel in their own ways. The eye, which brings it back to the OA or angel, we see this eye on the back of our dollar bills. It's the all-seeing
third eye, right?
Yeah, it's a third, all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid. The cool thing about this scene, if you did not catch it, is that when she's looking at this eyeball, the three notes are playing. B, B, A.
I did not. What? That's so fun.
Yeah, the three notes are playing while she's looking at the eye.
I'm gonna go rewatch it.
Yeah.
Did not notice that.
I love that.
There's so much. There's so many
the
layers.
next one to remind you.
I love that. Go, Caleb, go. We need you here.
He's gonna hold our feet to the fire.
Good. Do it.
So yeah, the eye was really creepy, but which is weird because why would you, it also, now that I think of it, it also tells you that she could see. Whereas Prairie was blind, Nina never went blind. She could see, and she's literally holding an eye in her hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
We don't know whose eye that is.
No, it's a fake eye, I would hope.
We don't know whose eye it is.
Have you seen the show?
I have.
I think it's a real eye. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just never know.
Oh my gosh. And it's funny that it's right after this that we get the OA show up in her stead.
Yeah, she goes, I've been shot in the chest.
Yeah,
and you're like, no, you're just having a heart attack. No, her consciousness was connecting with the OA. She had been shot in the chest.
She was
literally.
jumping.
Yeah,
she was
that
jumping.
was so cool.
Yeah.
So where did this Nina go? Right.
That's what the
question.
The doctor was like, or no, it wasn't the doctor. Yeah, it was the doctor.
Yeah, it was Homer, I think, asked.
It was Homer.
Homer asked, well, where does that person go?
Are you keeping her in prison? Like, just like the doctor's keeping you in prison?
Yeah.
Like, are you suppressing her, basically?
Yeah.
Which is a great question.
And where's Homer? Because now we're aware that the OA intentionally jumped to this dimension because she's seeking Homer. Where's Homer?
I feel like
we're looking at Homer, interacting with Homer.
Theory time?
Suppressing?
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm thinking that in the same way that I assume the OA is suppressing Nina, and Nina was having like a hard time with her whole situation, right? So even if she's relatively strong-willed, the OA was stronger and had more gumption, more passion, more need for control. So she took over, and Nina is suppressed but still there within, and that's why
theory critter. Oh my
God.
God.
But like, think about it. She remembers the codes. She remembers things.
Yeah,
like
it's there.
It's subconsciously available to her, which to me is like, feel like she's there, and I could be wrong. I
can't reject your theory.
I think in that way, Homer lost the battle of the wills for some reason. Whether he was beat down. So he's like in the back of this guy's mind, and this guy's gonna have to actually like maybe either surrender and open up, or they're going to have to push old Homer hard enough to get him to finally fight to come out.
She said it. Homer's here. That's him in the ceiling, right? And then he reaches up and he's like, "There's nothing here." She goes, "That's what he said. That there was a hand grab reaching for him." So there, yeah, I mean that whole conversation happened.
Homer's being suppressed.
Homer's in the ceiling is fascinating, where we're talking about the all-seeing eye and the third eye, because the whole ceiling area. Okay, so very fun wording there.
I salute
and then also, if they're all connected, all the dimension, themselves are connected within themselves and other dimensions. So if we decide to believe that's true for the show, then we can also think back to the conversation that Prairie was having with Steve about there being like the highest self or the truest self.
Yeah.
And so the truest self is always going to be the one that wins out.
Right.
Yes.
And so
under my amazing
the highest
theory.
self, well, I reject that.
Wow.
Okay, the reason I reject that is because because I don't like it. It's too dark. So I like this other Homer that she's looking for. So I hope that he is in the ceiling, and that he is going to descend, and be the one that everyone sees.
Oh, I'm going to kill you later then, because I got some theories that you're not going to like.
I know.
You guys have seen this and you have theories.
It's been like 10 years almost.
Has it really?
Time.
Oh my gosh.
I watched it when it came out, and I have not watched it again. Thought about it honestly.
Ceiling Homer.
Okay.
So if to finish that thought, it was Homer initially ran before doing the dance, and then came back.
Right.
And so we're kind of seeing that play out in this dimension, in this reality. Like Homer's true self is holding back. His strong self is holding back. And that's why we're seeing this other more scholarly version of himself that didn't have the NDE, I guess, winning out, over this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in that really dark theory that you reject.
I reject your dark theory.
Okay. But what you're saying really supports it. I hope you know that.
I was going to say.
I like it.
Okay. Great.
Oh. All right.
Can we just say also while we're talking about Homer?
Why is that picture?
This guy is such a dweeb.
Oh, that one.
Oh my god!
The date that they went on. Oh my god.
Okay, so
choking on the seafood.
Yeah.
Right after making jokes about the seafood.
But you know why? Can I explain why he choked on that seafood?
Sure.
Well, of course, the connection there. He was doing transference.
He hasn't.
He was experiencing transference.
He hasn't accepted it. That's why the other Homer hasn't taken over yet. He couldn't deal with the seafood.
Okay, sure.
Also,
I like it. All these little things are going to keep happening, and finally he's going to give over to his truest, highest self.
So this picture that I took of Homer,
it's a great one. There goes the orange car.
I took a picture. I took this screenshot for the simple purpose to show that in this reality, he is a hunter, just like Hap.
No.
He is. Listen, because Hap is trying to turn him into him. I'm not saying he is. But Hap is trying to turn him into him to keep them separate, right? Because Hap, once he came into the Percy's freaking body, he's grabbed all of these people. He's locked them up just like he did before. He sees that he doesn't have to do that with Homer, and he's using Homer to turn him against the others. And so therefore Homer tries to emulate him, where Hap is like this, so they show him as hunter-like, but he just doesn't have it in him.
He's a softie.
Yeah, he doesn't have it in him. And as far as the date, here's the theory that I have, that I think that date is the girl in the previous life that he got pregnant but didn't marry. Remember, there was that whole thing when she first got.
It was like a different state. That was a different like.
It doesn't matter.
You just want everything to connect.
Why?
No,
why do you think that?
For it?
There's different worlds because he's really trying. Like he wasn't joking. He was truly trying to get some.
I just thought she looked like Rachel, and that's why
she did look like Rachel
because he's a creep.
But we don't know. I mean, I personally think everything in the show is connected. Like the receptionist girl at the what's it place? The Treasure Island, whatever that place is called.
I know you have a picture.
Treasure Island.
Pull her up.
I think she represents the new girl in the group.
Angie?
Yeah.
Steve's girlfriend?
Yeah. I think that
They're nothing alike.
their
characters are
doesn't
nothing
matter.
alike.
I'm telling you, I think there's I'm not saying there is a connection. I'm just saying it's the representation of the same type of character, where she's kind of aloof, but she's not dumb. You know what I mean? Because Angie's not dumb, but she's very.
Angie's one of the most aggressive characters on the show.
Yeah,
the most aggressive characters on the show. It's just very subtle.
That is true.
Very subtle. But you listen to her lines, and she is aggressive.
I just think that the ensembles of the cast are similar, and they bring in people that reflect those other characters, so that it brings a familiarity and it kind of ties everything together. For example, when Hap is on the phone, you brought that up, right? No. I think Hap was on the phone outside, and Homer comes out, and it's nighttime. That was Havana all over again.
Huh.
That was exactly like Havana, where they're out on a balcony and they're talking, and it's nighttime. You can see the ocean in the background.
Colluding, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of similarities with the first season that pop up.
Are you talking about the images I asked you to get?
No, that's the gates.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you talk about that. It was earlier when he was outside talking on the phone to what's her face's fiance, Nina's fiance.
Yeah, Ruskin.
Yeah, Ruskin. And he comes
the
out.
The angel investor, you guys.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I was like, on the nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that pop up from the first season that show up in mirror images in the second.
Okay, so speaking of mirror images,
yes. Nice segue.
Thanks.
Beautifully done.
We have this
my breath away, literally.
You're a professional.
Here we go.
So we have this mirror plot, but before we talk about the mirror, I do want to say, what do we take? Well, I mean, you guys may already know this, but do you find it interesting that this character is another one that has made the jump between
which character?
Or like the
Michelle and Buck and Vu.
Vu. Well, it's Vu. Their last name is Vu.
Yeah. So the fact that they are not united, they haven't made any jumps as far as we know, but they're like both showing up, I guess. The fact that, so when I saw the image of the missing girl, I was why do they look so familiar? and then when the OA saw the picture for the first time and was like, oh my God, I was like, oh my God, of course. Yeah. That's like, so I don't know.
You really didn't know that before then?
No,
Good.
I just,
wow.
no.
Amazing.
That's
awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I probably should have, because there was an image and they looked similar, but I think it was just like long enough since I had seen season 1 that I was just like, oh, there's the person who's missing. Like, didn't even really.
And granted, with long hair,
it's a different vibe.
Very different. Yeah, whole different vibe.
So anyways, I'm just basically, since you guys have seen it and I don't want to risk getting spoiled or anything, I'm just really curious to see why, and how those two are similar or related or connect or.
Well, think about it. In the 2 dimensions that we've seen so far, right, from season 1 and this season, the same people are there.
Oh, I know, but it's like, why is this one like the focal point?
They're also, well, think about it. They're also very much connected to interdimensional travel, right? OA brings the one group into it, and in this world, the angel investor and Nina bring people into it, and they caught her in the net. So that's her track in life, is to follow this path. So the question is, are there other people? Because she came out to San Francisco from wherever she was at.
Yeah.
So,
potentially wherever
Buck lives. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wherever Buck lives. I was trying to remember.
It was Missouri, wasn't it?
Was it Missouri?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Indiana, because they were going to Gary to the.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was Indiana
for the mirror.
Yeah, yeah, they were in Indiana.
In Indiana, from Indiana to San Francisco to sleeping on a floor.
Yep.
Right. That's right.
Making 31 grand. Playing a puzzle.
Doing well. Yeah.
Really well.
So I'm not gonna lie, the mirror plot, it kind of just didn't compute for me.
The mirror thing.
The mirror.
Oh, so how Buck was able to experience some type of engagement with Rachel through a mirror?
Basically, yeah.
So remember in season 1 how the 5 people in the hole in the bunker reflected the students?
We
right?
we decided that, yeah.
Yeah. So Rachel was the singer, Buck was the singer.
So
Renata was the guitar player. That's French, or right?
Connection confirmed. Then
Homer. Okay. Homer was Steve, and Jesse was the other guy, the druggy guy. I can't remember his name.
Poor Scott.
Scott, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the mirror. There's a connection there somehow. So it would make sense that Rachel would reach out to Buck.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, I actually like that. I didn't think about that. I thought about just, the whole idea of like mirror worlds, and then like people who lean towards or engage more in, mystical times do work with mirrors. Mirrors are a way to engage with the self, to explore. You can use
they're portals to other worlds.
Portals, some people believe, like those kind of things. Okay. And so I think this show is just kind of leaning into that belief.
And I guess, like last season, we did have another mirror connection. So this wasn't the first one.
What was the mirror connection?
Was it the overachiever kid seeing somebody in a mirror? Or
yes, he saw Homer.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He even mentions that too, and you could say that Homer and Frenchie, are pretty connected themselves.
Well, it's actually
being jocks.
Yeah, but I think that Homer was actually
Scott. You said
no. Well,
not Scott.
No, Steve.
No, Steve.
Yeah. Because I think that Renata is Frenchie. They're very similar. Their sexuality is very similar.
What about the druggy guy? Oh, I guess they're both. There's
that's
another
Jesse.
Druggy guy.
Okay,
never mind.
Jesse's the druggy guy. Yeah.
If that's going to be their main feature.
And Jesse's full of grief, so that would be Rachel from losing her brother. Jesse lost his.
No, Jesse is Scott, the druggy, because they show it at the in one of the episodes here when they're in that church.
We're gonna need you to write this down because I think your names crossed.
Check it out. So Jesse, when they're at the church, Jesse takes off. Jesse takes off to go buy drugs.
Okay.
French takes off to have
he's gonna float.
Yeah. And French takes off to have a sexual interlude, which is very Renata. She was very, free spirit, from when they were in Cuba. That's how they trapped her. Steve is Homer because he's got the strongest connection to the OA in that world, and she had the strongest connection to Homer. And he even says it. Buck is Rachel because of the singing.
Okay.
Right? And then BA, I'm not really sure where BA falls into it. I don't know who she is. I haven't figured that one out. I will say that the French lady that Hap runs into with the tinnitus or whatever, reminds me of the angel that OA was in the box with. I don't know if it's the same actress or not, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
I'll have to look that one up because it was very similar.
Okay.
It was very weird. Anyways, continuing. Mirrors, Winespring, you had something about, I'm going to throw it to your...
Okay, so mine is mostly just to make fun of it a little bit. So they show up with this broken mirror all wrapped up to speak with the medium Lily, which is fun because like lilies are the, the crown chakra, they see that kind of thing. So you have a medium named Lily, super fun. When is that obvious? And then, so with the broken glass, the broken mirror, and she starts freaking out and cover the mirrors. And they're running around there, covering the mirrors, and everything's so intense, And then she's like, well, I'm gonna have to charge you for the deluxe package. I laughed so hard. I was like, this con artist.
Definite con artist.
Had such foresight, to send them running around and then charge the ultimate package. It drives me crazy.
Here's the thing about that whole scene. To me, I thought also con, right? Even the message that came across the TV, which we know is real. But even
it was
that
unnecessary.
Yeah, and even then, I thought it was a con because French poured his soul out to that guy that night, and that was his sister. And I was thinking, man, he could have just dumped all this information to his sister to con them out of money, right? But then the TV shit happened, and there was
But that could have happened anywhere. Never have they needed another medium there, or a medium technically there.
I mean, okay, to be fair, the OA was kind of their spiritual guide.
Maybe they needed to open their minds.
Clearly,
they don't even now. Yeah,
but think about it. Maybe they needed to have their minds, their minds door open, because when French says to Buck, "Oh, blah blah blah," or it was either Steve or French says something to her. Well, why did the message come to you? She goes, "I still leave my door open at night."
Yeah, that shows willingness and openness.
So them going to a medium shows willingness and openness to accept some kind of information, even if it was a farce of a medium.
Okay,
sure. It engaged their imagination, which is also part of the color orange. So, which is a theory, or which is a theme within the show. So,
oh look, Penny's in here.
Oh, hey, Penny.
Hi, temporarily, Penny. I understand the urge to not want spoilers. Just know, if you do want to catch up, that I believe the last Monday of the month will be us finishing the OA. So if you want to watch all of season 2 before then,
and then you can come on the show.
Trophy? Did you see her trophy in her music video that she put out? She used it as a prop. I was like, yes.
That's awesome.
Personally, I think she was rubbing it in, since we're 0-2 against Penny now. And don't tell her to catch up, because she'll show up on our show and beat us at the OA too.
I like it. Bring it, Penny.
It's a real risk.
If you catch up, I would love to have Penny on if she catches up.
It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yep.
Anyways, so let's see. What else is there?
Okay, so little things. There's a picture of OA, the doorman and the nurse lady in front of her door. Big white door. It would be, I don't know what.
One more time, I was reading. What did you say?
The doorman and the nurse lady. Oh, I see. Yeah, I got it.
Putting an image.
Okay, so there's 2 images here, and I think they're back to back, right? Yeah, they are. All right, so the first one is her at the door with the doorman and that nurse that took her there.
I think it was a cop, wasn't it?
No, that was the doorman.
Oh, okay.
For the building that she lives in.
No, I mean I thought the lady with her was a cop, because she got in a cop
No, she's
car.
like a social worker.
Yeah, she's like a social worker.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Doorman, social worker.
Speaking of on the nose, her fucking front doors are a giant A. Right?
Oh, that's cute. I see that.
The border of it is a giant A. The next picture.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to pull it up separately. This is taking a long time.
The next picture is the picture of the keyhole.
Okay.
It's an angel. It's a little person with a halo. It looks like a little person with a halo.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
There's another shot of her sitting in the apartment later on when she's in there with Kareem, and she's looking in a mirror, and there's another door. There's another A, and she's sitting below a lamp that has a light above her head, which is
the
cool.
Halo. Yeah. We know that. Yeah.
And then the
lamp. Yes. Seeing
the image. Well, you don't have to show that one right now, but
too late.
the next image after the door frame is the Melanu Clinic, or the Melanu Clinic, or whatever the hell it is, which is on Treasure Island.
Yes.
And the symbol for that can be looked at in several ways. One, it could be a halo. It also looks like the circle that Hap had them in season 1, where it was like a circle with the 5 spokes, except this one's 4 spokes because they didn't have Homer.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Huh.
Right? There's so many little clues. There's the shot where Kareem is looking from the air vent down on everybody sleeping. Again,
stunning moment.
Yeah. Again, a circle with people in spokes pushing outward, like a halo. Again, I mean, it's just it's everywhere.
Yeah,
the halos are everywhere.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Good theme. It's a good theme for a show about an angel.
Yeah, right.
Also, what is it? The Garden of Forking Paths? Could those also be forking paths?
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're welcome.
That sounded really fortune cookie-ish, but all right.
No, if you've seen The Good Place.
Oh my god, I love The Good Place.
The Garden of Forking Paths. It just sounds like a curse. Anyways, it's fine.
I never thought of it.
Anytime anybody says forking, I immediately replace it with you know
fecking,
what.
right?
Yeah.
Fecking, who knows fecking?
Exactly. But also, I will note that because this is the Wheel and Chill show, that a lot of these look like wheels.
They are. Okay, I'm just so glad you did it, not me. I was holding back.
That image does resemble the Wheel of Time when they buried everybody with the circle and all the bodies.
Oh, that's a good point.
So let's just talk about this moment. And so he crawls through and he sees these. I think they're all women. I tried to figure it out. And I listened to the commentary about what's going on. So it sounds like it's all women. So it's leaning towards women having this ability to have certain types of dreams that eventually they find patterns in, and then they're trying to figure out the future, that kind of thing, right? Just general thoughts, Kritter, when you watch this for the first time.
Creepy. I mean, it just, like... this happened after we got into her room and listened to the recordings, right? Or was it before?
No, this was before.
This was before.
This was before. Yeah.
Okay,
he hadn't broken her out yet.
Once we got into her little secret room, and the first recording was this like sexy dream, I was like, "This is."
Was that a sexy dream, Kritter? Was that a sexy dream? Was it a sexy dream? I don't know.
You realize what that dream was that she was talking about?
I don't know.
She started talking about the sweat balls and the tongues,
reading the secrets in the salt on her skin. Yeah,
that
beautiful.
that was the octopus. She was talking about the octopus.
Well, I thought it was supposed to be because I don't know. She was like she was saying it so whatever.
Right before they hit pause, that moment. I'm not even gonna say that live on YouTube.
I'm not gonna say it. She's like, and then I felt the tongue in my.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
pause.
And so to me, that gave me like all of this tied together made me think it was very creepy. Like that all these women are like dreaming and whispering into these recordings
but they're not being held captive.
No,
they're being paid really well. Dream
being
job,
observed by
their
what looks like men. Like I don't know.
Their dreams were different from her recording though. She was talking about something that she was feeling. They were talking about stuff that they were seeing in their dreams. So the recordings are the same, but you don't find out till episode 4 that recording is her recordings are her with the old knight, the octopus.
Yeah, like live on stage.
You see him writing it on a cassette tape, right?
Yeah.
Nina number 5 or something.
I just do lights, bro.
Which made it even weirder because I'm like, was there an audience watching her during that particular record? Like
if considering all of them that she had in her home, I would say no. Those seem like something different. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a whole different experience. I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, right.
I hope so. Because
you said it was sexy.
Well, I mean, it's just like weird. It's like
I mean, it was kind of sexual until you find out about the octopus. It sounded sexual. So
honestly, I don't know that it's with the octopus. I'm laughing and I'm loving the theory. I actually don't know that it's an octopus.
I personally think it is. I just think she's under some kind of weird state.
I guess I just pictured like, and granted, maybe I wasn't paying attention to every single word, but it was giving like on the beach, like type vibes, the salt and all that.
Hot, I'm sweaty,
literally. And so I was like, "Whoa, okay, this feels like a private moment."
Do you like pina colada?
Yeah,
private moment.
It did, and
it's just so interesting that Tavern thought octopus, you thought beach. I didn't think sexual at all when I heard it. Like it felt more like It did feel more scientific to me. Like she's saying, like, you're trying to read the secrets in the salt on my skin. Like you are reading every ounce of me. You are understanding things you shouldn't by touching me. Like I don't know that has to be. No, that does not have to be sexual. It does not have to be sexual.
All right, think about it though.
Can it be? Obviously. Does it have to be? No.
I thought it was creepy. I mean, I could see where she would think sexual, but I just thought it was creepy. But you have to remember that the audio tapes were Nina, not Prairie, not the OA, So the OA had a completely different experience with that octopus than Nina was having. I think when Nina did it, I think that when Nina did it, it took over her. And that's what she's thinking. Oh, you're in my thoughts. How are you getting to these things that, I'm not saying or whatever? It's because it was connected to her on her arms and all that stuff. That's why she had the marks. At least that's my theory. But so Nina would think of it, if she's not sure, if she doesn't know, if she's like in some kind of weird trance and she doesn't know that this octopus is connecting to her, or even if she does, but it takes over, she might just be recording her thoughts of what she was experiencing, right? Where when the OA connects to the octopus is, you got to tell them who you are. I know who you are.
I also will say, just to like put a cap on this, even if it's the octopus, have you all seen Mad Men?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you remember the painting that was in...
Okay, Mr. Winespring, stop listening. We are only a few episodes in on season 1. He's never seen it.
No, it's about a work of art that I believe is real, but there's a explicit painting that starts in one of the partners, Cooper's office. And it eventually gets like passed down through the people, and it involves an octopus and a woman.
Okay.
Huh.
Let's look it up. Let's just.
I don't recall that.
Anyways, it's sexual in nature, to give you more of a hint, and so that's why I don't think it being the octopus excludes.
True, because I mean, there's a whole hentai
fetish.
Is a thing.
That's what I'm. Yeah. And so, anyways, that was that. When we got to that part, I was literally like, "What is happening? Like, what am I watching? Do these showrunners have a kink that I didn't know about until just now?"
Oh my.
Anyways,
there were 2 questions that I wanted to ask what your emotions were. One was that
with the octopus.
With the octopus. 2 was an image.
Well, before we move on, I looked at meanings of the octopus, so I would say when we watch shows, they sexualize things because they want people to watch,
Obviously.
So they want it to look all sexy with her outfit and it's all like on her chest and stuff, whatever.
I mean, it's like creeping around. Yeah.
But octopuses in general symbolize wisdom, intelligence, and the ability to overcome challenges with creativity. They're depicted in art and literature as creatures of mystery and intrigue, representing the depths of the human psyche. And they're also attributed to healing powers. And there was one more that was really interesting. Octopuses are aliens who survived from a previous universe. And so we have this octopus here that they've decided is able to communicate with her, calls himself Azrael or Old Night, and kills her for 37 seconds.
What's the meaning of 37 seconds? I didn't figure that one out. So
that kills her for 37 seconds and allows her to travel through these things that are we heard from what was her name in the wheelchair, and she worked for Curie.
Oh, the older lady that Kareem goes to visit.
Yeah, she mentions these patterns of a tunnel, a double-sided ladder, and a flower, right? And so we see the OA go through this tunnel, this tight space, and she's going up a ladder, and then she's on a plane, and then she sees this person. And I think
goes through tunnels.
Yeah, and so I don't know. So from different universe, different dimension, that kind of vibe, I think can be connected here just with that symbolism of an octopus.
Oh, 100%. One octopus, if there's an animal in the ocean that can communicate with humans, or if they could, it would be the octopus. Probably one of the smartest creature in the ocean.
Incredibly intelligent, and they are experts at solving puzzles.
Yeah.
Experts at it.
Yeah.
That's true.
You should watch anybody who's into Mark Rober. He adopted an octopus for a couple of weeks, and the shit he put this octopus through, and watching it learn and troubleshoot and solve,
lifting the barriers, going through the stupid ping pongs. It was insane.
The things it can slide through. I mean, just amazing. So
Damn, I was going to say something about.
Caleb, Dr. Rhodes. Good job, Caleb. Thank you.
So you were talking about the tunnel, right? The tunnel, the spiral staircase, and the rose
stained glass window.
Yeah, stained glass window.
Yeah.
They mention early on several times that Homer Homer's vision from the first. He was crawling through a tunnel,
A tight space. Yeah.
a tight space, a tunnel, and what was Prairie crawling through? Looked like vents. It looked like she
Very
was crawling
tight
through
space.
vents. Yeah, very
Yeah.
tight space. So yeah. There's the connection to that, which is I think was amazing that they pulled that off, because that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my question was, what did you think about the whole octopus thing when you first saw it? And I think we've gotten that answer.
Yeah.
I thought it was sexy.
No.
Sexy time.
Yeah.
I've
I
got
thought it was intriguing.
the next thing I'm going to ask you after this, but I've got a quick joke. How
God.
do you get an angel to tell you the truth?
Let's take a walk on that one. They always tell the truth.
No.
Why are you
10
angels?
tickles. 10 tickles. Get it? Because the old knight said you have to tell the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, with the tentacles. I cracked myself
10
up.
tickles. 10 tickles. 10 tickles.
All right, somebody in chat better laugh, because I'm just
Good.
saying.
Tickles.
Good one.
Did I say it enough time for everyone to get it?
No, that was a horrible joke. It was a horrible joke. I knew it was. I knew it was a horrible joke when I thought about it earlier today.
I like it. I approve.
All right, so the other surprise that I wanted to get your opinion on, or your reaction to, was when they take her into the asylum, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Which one? The first one or
no,
Treasure
not
Island?
the hospital, the Treasure Island.
Okay.
Treasure Island. Okay.
And they throw her into the day room,
Uh-huh.
and Hap turns around.
Woo!
How did you feel about that? 'Cause they hadn't even mentioned or talked or said anything. He just spun around, and you're like, son of a bitch.
I mean, it did.
Thank you, Mr. Winespring.
I wasn't
And Caleb.
expecting it, but I completely accepted it the moment it happened. It was one of those, like, of course,
course he's here.
that's what's happening. Of course, he's the doctor keeping them all captive. Like,
Yeah.
why would that not be the same?
And he looks at her and he says, "It is you, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah,
Prairie.
because he's not sure.
He calls her Prairie, not away, not
Mhm.
Nina, Prairie.
Yeah, he doesn't notice. I mean, he doesn't immediately. He as soon as she says something or whatever, he knows it's her.
Yeah.
Right. Also, another Hap has what in poker we call a tell, or
You tell.
it's not so much as a tell as it is kind of like a blind spot. Blind spot's a better word. When he had the captives in the first season, he allowed Prairie to join him upstairs. Why? Because she was blind.
Oh, and then the other girl.
She can't talk.
Yeah.
And so he used her. And both times it's bit him in the ass.
Yeah. Clearly.
Both times.
Yeah.
Oh, Caleb, with the dad jokes. I love it. Haptives.
Wow.
I like that one.
Beautifully done. Did
Thanks,
you notice
Max? I
that
appreciate you being here.
Hap's house from the first season is kind of rounded?
Yeah.
And then his office upstairs is also rounded with all the glass.
Yep.
So many cute little callbacks.
It is.
Yeah, no, they have so many things. Even the fish tank. If you look at the fish tank, it's 5-sided with a circle
Like
thing
their
in the
weird
middle.
little cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So do we have an image of what BB-8 sees in her dream by chance? In episode 3?
I did not get it. I could not find that image. I was looking for it, and I couldn't remember exactly where it was.
She's having a dream, and she says, you hear, "I need your help." And then it kind of looks like a map or a diagram or something.
But isn't there a man standing in the doorway or something? Like
after that?
Shadow?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's who I thought was Kareem, only because she said, "I need your." I need your help. I need your help.
Yeah.
And I think if they send her brother down for every life to help her, I don't think he reached her in the season 1 life. I don't think he got to her in time.
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so there's a connection. There's connections in everything, right? So my thought is this. BB-8's brother dies leaves her a bunch of money,
Yes.
right? That she uses and helps the, whatever she does. I think that's how he helped her in season 1, is that he sent BBA to help her. In this season, he's physically there in Kareem, and he's helping her straight up, because we don't see a personification of BBA in season 2 yet that I know of. I don't know if we see a personification of her in the new world, in the new dimension, is what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
And so I think there's a connection there.
I think the quote of the day from Tavern is "There's a connection there." I love that you see connections literally everywhere, because
I'm really just not seeing it. Like, I don't see that connection. Like, to BBA being the brother, or BBA's brother being the brother.
It's either BBA being the brother or her brother being the brother. But there was money involved, and she helped VOA when VOA needed it. And so
I found the image. I'm trying to find the Google Drive to drop it in.
I sent you the link.
I know, I'm looking for it, and I scrolled way too far.
About Raheem? No, Raheem was the psychologist or whatever that they sent to talk to her from the FBI, right? In season 1.
Oh, I totally forgot about him.
Yeah. I don't think he was. There wasn't a whole lot for that guy. I think he was just like the social worker in this one, where he was just there. I also like the moment of clarity when French goes to tell Prairie's dad, "Hey, I tried to help, but I debunked it instead." And he turns around and goes, "Oh no, all of those books came in way after she started talking to you guys."
Okay, that was a good touch.
I found the thing from her dream. If we want to try and pull it up and see it.
Oh my gosh, Winespring, it's so tiny. We're gonna. It's fine. I'll try and zoom.
I don't have a timestamp.
Yep.
Okay. We're just, it's gonna start small, but everyone bear with me. I'm gonna.
If this one's bigger.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Here we go. Okay.
Sorry.
I just dropped another one. You can see if that's bigger.
That was in my mind from the show, because Steve is making "that's what she said" jokes.
I did, yeah, and then I remember that actually. Okay, it's fine. We'll just zoom. We're gonna zoom in as much as we can.
Right.
Oh my gosh, the other one's really small too.
Okay, well, it's blurry, but it's bigger now. So what are we looking at here?
It's a like a scrapbook.
Yeah,
that's a scrapbook, right?
Winespring?
I'm waiting for it to come up on YouTube, because what I'm seeing currently is not very.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can track it down. I can take some pretty good screen grabs.
Oop.
Yeah, I wish we could read.
What episode was this from?
This is episode 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on a second.
So she's sleeping, I remember, and we hear, "I need your help," in a masculine voice. And then it kind of looked like this. Yeah, like we're seeing here, but I can't tell what that is, what's going on.
Yeah, it just looks like a sheet of paper, maybe, with like Polaroids.
Oh, there it is.
Clippings.
Definitely a Polaroid.
Yeah.
With a young man that I thought was her actual brother, not like a Kareem brother.
Are you uploading it, Tavern?
Yeah, hold on. I'm grabbing it now.
I'm gonna
capture.
Adjust the image. The teeniest, tiniest
download.
Okay, bear with us, everyone. We're gonna get this photo here.
Because we're professionals.
We are.
We're doing this live.
I'm in the wrong folder there.
Okay, I was looking for it and I didn't see it.
Okay.
Dropped it in?
I'm dropping it in now. It's just called Netflix.
I see it. Thank you. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Boom. Oh, I gotta fix it. Whee.
Oh, it's so dark. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, so we got 2 kids, it looks like.
Yeah, it's
young, very young. Wiley.
It's not a scrapbook. I don't know what it is. It's like an old paper of some sort.
Or like
a donkey. Is that like a donkey on it, maybe?
Yeah, it's like a kid's menu, maybe, or something to that effect. Or
kids menu. That's interesting.
Some I don't know. It's got a name on there. Let me see if I can see it. It's
while
called
you're waiting.
Yeah, while you're waiting.
I bet
So
it's
it
like a little
is. It's like
menu.
an activity book.
Yeah.
That they give you. Oh, and there's a maze in the bottom left.
So they're puzzles.
And then we have the fish. We have 3 fish.
One
They're
of them
puzzles.
circled, yeah.
And I think a horse or a donkey. We have
That's-
a rose growing, maybe.
The rose.
And a snail.
You have the.
And it says follow the dots. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Flour mix up at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You have the fish. You have the tight crawly spaces in that puzzle on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's connections. You guys keep saying that there aren't connections. There's connections everywhere in this show.
I never once said there weren't connections.
I just don't think Kareem is her brother.
I don't know. I think that she's connected to him
No.
in some way. It's just I don't know why.
Kareem.
Caleb, help me out here.
Hey, no spoilers. I'm sure we'll find more out later.
Yeah, don't spoil anything.
Hopefully.
But just side with me so I can feel better about myself.
No, I think it's fun. I think it's like a balance, right? Where you are seeing the most connections. Winespring's probably second, and I'm over here not noticing anything. It's a spectrum.
So fun.
It's a fine spectrum. There's no shame in seeing connections.
Being connection shamed.
I know you're not. Stop it.
I wish I could explain it back to you because I was like half listening, half searching, if I'm honest. So you think that BBA is Kareem or BBA's brother?
I'm not really sure, but I think BBA has something to do with the brother because think about it. Everybody else has
What do you mean by the brother?
BBA's brother?
No.
Yeah.
The OA's. I mean the OA's brother.
Okay, so the OA's brother, the way that it seems like Old Knight is directing us is Kareem.
Right.
Her angel brother.
Brother and
season,
protector.
In this season, it's Kareem. Okay.
Okay.
She says that in every lifetime, she sends
him,
the brother him to protect. That doesn't mean that it's got to be in a male body. I mean, but there's connections to all the other kids. There's nothing for BBA. There's nothing that ties BBA from to any of the people that were captured. From the first season we had ties, right? There's nothing for BBA. She's like this outsider that is helping, but there's no other dot that connects to her to anything.
And she is very protective of the kids.
Yeah.
Which would be Rachel. It would be Rachel.
Why? Because she pointed out that there were kids in the house?
Not
I think
just
she was
that, but her brother. That's a huge part of her story. Her brother dies, just like BBA's brother dies.
Okay, well, all right.
That would be Rachel.
Fair.
So BBA would be Rachel. I think Steve would be Homer. Frenchie would be Scott. And then we have Jesse and we have Buck. So then we have Rachel being BBA. Renata would be Buck. And so that leaves Jesse. But who was the one that died in the bathtub that we didn't meet, that we don't know anything about, really?
No, the one that he killed before she got there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be. It could be BBA. You never know. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Rachel and BBA.
It could be. Okay, so I'm looking at the images. I'm not seeing a ton left that we haven't really addressed.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got another. Sorry, to go back to that. Kareem doesn't want to bring children into the world.
Autumn. Thank you, Caleb. Boom.
Hey,
This is why Caleb's here.
Kareem didn't want to bring children into the world.
Yeah.
And BBA doesn't have any kids, but she still takes care of the kids, and Kareem loves kids. He protects children.
He's got some arguments.
Oh, look at me. That's coming from a lawyer, lady.
We'll see.
Love lawyers.
Only time will tell. Okay, so I think we are getting towards the end of our time here.
Yeah.
So if there are any final points that you want to make sure that we get to now.
I asked for images of the gates to be shown. I don't know if we have them to show them side by side, but it'd be kind of fun.
They're right next. They are next to each other, or like in sequence. It's called open, and the other one's called close. And I think it's episode 3 or 4. 4.
Or 4.
4. Episode 4.
So we have the moment.
Closed would be the first one.
Homer he is, taking a call from Hap and the gate is closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to
I
Hap
see now.
on the
see what we're
phone.
talking about.
And this gate is open. And this one of the big plot drivers for this season is where the heck is Homer, right?
Yeah.
And so we see a closed gate versus Hap, who arrived appropriately in this dimension with an open gate. And, and so there's this, well, in computers, there's like gates, that open and close. So that's one connection there to make with how they're, working with technology a lot. And then interdimensional travel, like Homer's gate is still closed. It's not open yet. And then we have Hap, whose gate is just wide open.
What
So
I
else thought that was really cinematographically. I think that was you're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow.
I think that was
nailed it.
Thank you. I thought that was really well played. Like, to be like, Homer's gate just isn't open yet. Like,
I swear,
he's
symbolism.
there. He's at the gate. Give him a minute.
That's such an interesting.
To add to her coverage there, because that was amazing.
Her coverage.
Homer's
Back
gate.
to you, Winespring. No.
Homer's gate does open. When he's standing there, it opens and closes momentarily because somebody comes through the gate, but Homer's not paying attention.
Because he's talking to Hap.
So the gate closes again. Mm-hmm. Okay. 2.
But he's also on a vehicle.
Yeah. 2.
He's on his bike.
When Hap is talking to him in front of the open gate, he's standing in front of that big building with red and white lights. And throughout the entire season this season, it's been red and white. Red and white. Everything's red and white. So good and evil.
Also, grounding is red and white is uplifting and open. And so you have the balance between top and bottom there.
Yep.
Huh.
And we got Homer hanging out in the ceiling.
hanging out. What'd you say?
He's in his ceiling.
He's in the he's saluting
the
people.
Third eye, the all-seeing eye, the ceiling. He's in the ceiling. Homer needs to get out of the ceiling.
Yeah, that was my last thing, was the colors that I wanted to touch on. Very, very important things. The big house. All right, first of all, Kareem.
Okay, so green is the color of love, just so you know. So that's super fun.
Homer's wearing green. The house that they're talking about is green. Kareem shows up to the big blue, the guy in the soundproof booth that's talking to him, and it's just showing, it says Big Blue. And when he gets there, there's a big blue tarp in front of the house.
Which is for the voice to be heard as blue. Okay.
Then you have the asylum, or whatever you want to call it, is white.
Treasure Island.
Treasure Island is white. The building that Hap is in front of is red and white. Olive Prairie's apartment is white.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah, her apartment is, dude, I want that keypad. Whatever. I don't even need it for anything. I just want to like fidget spinner it or whatever. I want it as a fidget thing. But yeah, there's white. Look right there, right in front of in that shot. You have white, red, blue, and green.
Yeah.
And some yellow, but yeah, primarily white.
Lots of white for sure.
He's missing yellow.
No, I said yellow in the middle.
I mean, he's missing orange.
Oh, wait, is that orange or yellow in the middle? I see orange there.
He's missing orange, which is the color that the OA and Kareem are bringing.
Yeah, that's true. But that's it. The last thing I want to tell you is, Kritter, you need to prepare yourself for the end of the month, because you are going to be really upset.
Wait, stop. No, nothing that could lead to a spoiler. Stop.
I'm not going to lead a spoiler. I'm just going to say
you already headed there.
I said her emotions are going to be drained.
Okay. And so let's also for a moment talk about Unmitigated Reality as Madness, the book that Hap wrote.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I just looked around a little bit to see what that could possibly mean just for the stream. And I'll just read a quick snippet. Just say stop if it's getting too crazy. Okay. So it can be understood as the unfiltered, raw experience of reality that can be overwhelming or disorienting for some individuals. The concept suggests that the unfiltered view of reality, without the coping mechanisms or filters that help us interpret and make sense of the world, can lead to feelings of confusion, anxiety, and even madness. It's interesting. It can be explored in literature, philosophy, and psychology.
That is
So there you
interesting.
They did cover 2 books in this season. That one, and then the book that he buys for the older lady that's in the wheelchair.
Yes.
Something about the sower, which I thought was interesting because Hap is also seen pulling a plant out of some dude's ear, which we didn't discuss at all. The seed.
I know. Do we have an image of that? I asked for the image of it, but I know it was really late.
No, it's there. The image is there, but it's funny that the house, he says it only happens to people in the house, and it's a greenhouse.
I love it.
Greenhouse?
Greenhouse, for sure. They're both looking for a greenhouse. Hang on. Okay.
Yep.
While you
Anyways,
look at that. So also Pyramus and Thisbe is mentioned.
Yeah. I know.
And I'm not familiar with that. So are y'all familiar with this story?
No.
Okay.
I remember him saying, but I'm not familiar.
It notably influenced Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and Midsummer's Night's Dream. It is a famous recounting, I think, of Metamorphosis. A poem. So these things are at least triggering some things I can see. Where people lived in adjoining houses. These 2 people, it sounds like, lived in adjoining houses separated by a wall. So there you go. And they still fall in love somehow. And so obviously we have Homer in the OA right there with that, separated by a wall.
True. And more in this, it's metaphysical or meta whatever in this one, but it was physically in the last one.
Yeah, it says
I think of the word shit.
they planned to elope, but Thisbe was heard the plan was thwarted when Thisbe encountered a lioness near their meeting place, a mulberry tree. That's interesting. I don't think that's relevant, but it is a tree, so maybe it is, because there's a tree in OA's apartment, right? And then there's...
Is that a mulberry tree in her apartment?
No, it's just a tree. Okay, yeah, and then they end up, doing the whole Romeo and Juliet thing, it looks like. So hopefully that's not where our 2 stars are headed.
That is true.
But they were, separated by a wall.
Very, very cool.
Which makes me think about that moment when Scott and the OA meet for the first time and they hug. And he was like, I've never touched you before.
That's right.
That made me get a little teary-eyed. Because they clearly know each other. They care about each other. And they never had gotten to touch either.
Yeah.
Kayla brought up a good point that Hap just puts the head in the water in this season as he did in the previous season. And actually in this one, he doesn't even put the whole head in the water. He knows what he's like. In the first one, he was putting the whole head to give him NDEs. In this one, he's burying the head like half so he can get the seed out or have it grow, which I'm going to be honest with you. I don't recall what the hell the seed plant thing is about.
Did you notice how terrified Rachel looked when she went through the locked door, Critter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to see what's in there. I do remember that
I'm
image.
really curious.
Hey.
Look that up. Yeah.
Don't look that up.
I would not look that up. Not going to be spoiled.
Do not look that up ever. Okay. Even
All
after
right.
you read it, don't even look it up.
Okay.
Never go back to it ever again.
All right. Do we feel content?
We did have a few comments that were interesting. I'm trying to remember. It was Max, I think, asked what our thoughts were about the difference between watching season 1 where everything was in question, like, is this real, is this not? And then now in season 2, it's like, oh, this shit is real. Like, what are our feelings or thoughts on that? I don't see the actual question, but I think it was Max.
I think, as I said, season 2 so far has been more compelling for me, and maybe that's a part of it, where it's not like,
real.
Is she just making this up? Now I'm like, no, things are really happening, so must be real. Which I,
must be real. I love it.
Ever the practical person, I guess it's resonating more.
And it sinks in because, like I said, with the books, when Frenchie's talking to Prairie's dad, it's about the same time that you start getting really into, oh shit, this is real stuff. And he's like, oh, I debunked it. And he's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. We tried, but no.
Yeah. So that put that whole thing to rest, that shit was really happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I just remembered one more thing I wanted to talk about because I got so defensive about it in our last stream. It was the moment when Tav kind of started slamming on the mom. And I was like, whoa, let's just not do that. Moms are the best. And then in one of these episodes, we have Prairie. She gets to talk to her mom or the OA, Nina, and it's not her mom, but she still thanks her for like everything that she did and just loves her still. And I was just like, yeah, that's right.
I don't remember slamming on the mom.
I might have trashed the mom a little bit too.
There's some mom trash. There's some mom trash.
I'll admit it.
And she didn't deserve it. She did not deserve it. I agree with the actual child of this character that she didn't deserve it.
I'm sorry, I just snorted.
Okay, fine. It was a nice moment between her and the mom, for sure.
Yes, it was.
It was so sad, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And the mom was like, honestly, the mom in this dimension was kind of great. Like, she kind of like was trying to help.
She hadn't been through years of trauma herself.
Yeah,
she was,
exactly.
She was the woman that showed up and adopted the little boy, not the little girl that then,
because the little girl was not there.
Because the little girl wasn't there. Yep. But the fact that she had that information and the reaction the mom had was fascinating to see. Like that her decisions in life still led her to that moment to adopt a child, like that way and that method there with Zoya or whatever the name was.
Moms are great. I love moms.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, shall we do final thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tavern, do you have one ready?
No, I can't wait for the last 4 episodes. It's gonna be amazing. If I recall correctly, tons of shit is about to freaking go down, which is awesome. Other than that, great to be back on air with you all.
Yeah.
We've been kind of all over the place, so it's always fun to hang out with you guys. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And that episode so far is scheduled for July 29th in case anyone's marking their calendars. So just so
Should we mark our calendar?
Mine is marked.
So, I don't have a calendar.
Mine is too. Yay. Okay.
I don't have a calendar. I just wing it.
Okay.
That's why we're always reminding you. Where are you, Tavern?
No, that's why he's always like, "Do we have a show?"
Yeah, I send him every Monday. I send him a thing. Hey, are we on tonight? No. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks. All right, Winespring. Final thoughts.
I'm just gonna say hashtag save the OA, please, to start off my final thoughts. And then I'm gonna conclude with one of my favorite moments between Kareem and the OA. It's a quote. It's really short this time, I promise. It's Kareem showing the OA the door, after she's had this moment with the octopus where she dies for 37 seconds. And he looks at her and says, "You are tougher than you look."
Yeah.
And she looks at him and she says, "You are kinder than you seem."
Yep.
And it was just so delightful and telling for both of those characters and how they view each other and who they really are. So I love that moment.
Nice.
That's a great moment. The better one was the guy that said
the better. It has to be better, Tavern. Does everything have to be better?
The better one is the guy that says, "I just do the lights, bro."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Let's do the lights,
line.
bro.
I'm sorry. Your quote was the best. Your quote was that is true. That was amazing. I love that part.
Hashtag save the OA. Hashtag Wad Eats. Mr. Winespring in the chat. Definitely.
Man.
Yeah.
Both excellent hashtags.
Hashtag protect Tavern from Winespring. How about some of that?
Rejected.
I will say that we didn't really talk about the end of the episode where they open the door or whatever.
They open the door.
Door opens.
They're finding maybe a different way to travel because there's a way to travel. That's what we learned from this other woman who was talking to Hap that we didn't know anything about this other traveler. So other than their little seeds are active or something, making little buzzing sounds. So
I am very I feel like we didn't plan it this way, but the first 4 episodes definitely end on a cliffhanger where I am like, what is
mid-season
happening?
finale.
Next.
I didn't want to. One more thing. Shit. What? You guys, they mentioned the upside down again.
Oh, they did mention the upside down.
There are direct statements and things happening that are pulling in thoughts about Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And so, is this universe, these different dimensions, is it somehow connected with what is happening in Stranger Things, or is it just really clever planning with Netflix, and that's why they funded the OA, because they wanted little sprinkles and nuggets to send people to watch Stranger Things, a real moneymaker. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, but I mean, it was cool to hear that.
It was.
Oh, it says Caleb says the OA creators are friends with the Stranger Things creators, and
it's really interesting.
I did from searching today on Britt Marling and her writing partner. They have so much stuff happening. They are doing so many things, and I'm like, where the fuck is the rest of the OA? You know, they have so many projects that are in the works right now, like all over the place. It's just I'm upset.
Anyways, hashtag save the OA. Looking forward to WatCon this weekend. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Yes. And we'll be back.
He's kicking us out.
On the 29th. Thank you all for being in the chat. We appreciate you.
We do.
As always.
We do.
As always. Okay.
Love you guys.
See you later.
Love y'all.
Wait, one.